Hello YouTubes, and welcome to another episode of Cars I Want to Buy, the series where I share a car for sale somewhere out there in internet land that I want to buy, but can't because I have no money, and even if I did, I have nowhere to keep it. We'll review the features and condition of the car, go into some of the history of the model, and then review the 3 reasons why I want to buy the car. Today's featured vehicle is this tight as a drum 1992 Ford Thunderbird Super Coupe. This is the top dog version of Ford's heavily redesigned 10th generation T-Bird platform and is listed for sale by Scarsview Chrysler in the beautiful eastern Toronto boundary district of Scarborough. And this Chrysler dealership is asking $10,888 for the privilege of owning this classic-ish Ford. The pictures tell the story of a well-cared-for vehicle, with rust-free shiny red paint and a clean, mint-condition tan and gray interior, complete with leather seats. Everything appears to be in place as it came from the factory, save for an aftermarket in-dash head unit, period-sympathetic ROH aftermarket rims, and a dual A-pillar gauge cluster. The odometer reads at about 101,000 kilometers, which translates to roughly 62,000 miles, which also translates to pretty minimal use for a 31-year-old car. Under the hood, you'll find the supercharged version of Ford's 3.8-liter V6, which puts out in this year 210 horsepower and 315 foot-pounds of torque. Power is transferred to the rear track-lock diff via the ubiquitous for the time AOD 4-speed automatic, though you could get this car with a 5-speed manual. Based on the photographic presentation of this car, I'd say it looks to be in excellent condition and would be a great, relatively low-mile opportunity for any fan of the late generation Ford Thunderbirds. The 10th generation T-Bird debuted for the 1989 model year and included a number of upgrades over the outgoing model. Chief among these was the car's 4-wheel independent suspension, which included a multi-link rear end. This made the Thunderbird, the Cougar, and the Lincoln Mark 8 the only domestic rear-wheel drive cars, other than the Corvette, to have a 4-wheel independent chassis. Other changes for 1989 included a longer wheelbase, shorter overall length, and dropping the 5-liter V8 in favor of a sophisticated supercharged version of the standard 3.8-liter V6. The base engine was good for 140 horsepower and about 215 foot-pounds of torque, with the supercharged version putting out a more respectable 210 to 230 horsepower depending on the year and 315 to 330 pounds of twisty McGoodness. The 5-liter would return 2 years after the launch of the 10th generation T-Bird as an optional engine in 1991 and would remain until 1993. The 10th gen went through a mid-cycle facelift in 1994, which saw the 4.6-liter mod engine replace the stalwart 302. The Super Coupe continued in 1994 and 1995 and benefited from the new styling, a new electronic control module, and a new transmission in the automatic models. In 1996, the supercharged V6 was no longer available, and the 10th generation Thunderbird would have its swan song the following year for 1997. So why do I want this car? Well, here's 3 reasons. 1, and this may seem kind of lame, but I love the front seats of these cars. They have amazing bolstering and are incredibly comfortable. The interior of a car is so important because that's where you spend most of your time. The Super Coupe lets you eat up the road in comfort and provides sufficient support for more spirited driving. It's so challenging to find seats that can effectively pull off double duty like the ones they put in the supercharged T-Bird. Number 2, this car represents some really amazing innovation for the time in what was probably Ford's oldest model. This propelled the Thunderbird into true top-of-the-pack status with its various suspension upgrades and other features that put it head and shoulders above the previous generation of the car. Given the really good condition of this particular car, it would be an amazing opportunity to experience what a great American sport touring car felt like from 30 years ago, and you don't often get an opportunity to enjoy a real time capsule experience like that. Number 3, finally, these engines are pretty awesome. Pop the hood and take a look at the tube-heavy presentation. It's like something out of a comic book. There's a lot of great 3D detail in the tubing with the ribbing and the word supercharged popping out as it leads to a massive 3.8 on the top of the intake. The engine makes a great sound when you rev it up too. It's almost got a Hellcat-esque supercharger whine. Admittedly, these engines are sometimes susceptible to head gasket issues, but that doesn't completely undermine just how cool they really are. Well, that's all I wanted to cover for today. What's your view on the Thunderbird Super Coupe? It's not a blistering performer, sure, but it does have a lot of upside in my opinion. And let's be honest, the T-Bird was always more of a GT car than an all-out road demon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also, if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and ding that bell to make sure you're notified when I post my next video. Also, if you're so inclined, give me a follow on Instagram by looking up @Automophiliac. Thanks for watching. TTFN.